A very good morning to everybody. I'm excited to be here. One such decision that has been confusing many time and again. Though it's a very simple choice if you look at it, in the end of the day, we just have three streams, that's science, commerce, and humanities to choose from. Yet, there is a lot of confusion. So, today we'll be trying our best to open your minds so that this confusion is not an obstacle on your way, rather, it's not a hindrance for you, rather, you enjoy the journey and you explore what kind of streams and subjects you should opt for a very promising career ahead. So first, let's speak about the class 10 scores. I know time and again there has been a question on the fact that board exams are happening, not happening, how important are class 10 scores. But at the same time, I feel class 10 scores are scores which are always going to reflect on your CVs. Whether you apply for admissions abroad or you apply for admissions in India to private universities, or excuse me, or you're looking at any kind of careers, or jobs in the future, you're always going to have a column which says class 10 score. Why not make it promising? So how do we begin with this? The first step, as you could see, is career exploration. Then let's do some assessment, choosing the right career fit for ourselves, and then the right subject stream. Well, students, I think time and again we have been discussing personality, interest, aptitude, study styles, but I would like to tell you why and how they become very important when we talk about stream selection. Please understand that your personality does not play an important role only for the jobs or the careers that you choose tomorrow, but also for the streams or the subjects that you choose today, because these subjects, these streams will make your careers. So, for example, I'll give you a real life example. There was a student of mine who was very introvert, did not have very strong language skills, communication skills, written or oral or verbal, and came from a very conservative family. They did not, they were not very comfortable with the student moving out, traveling too much, and with everything, all such circumstances, the student wanted to opt for journalism. Now, again, you may say that, ma'am, any kind of personality may fit any kind of, jobs, and people do develop and evolve. But then at the same time, somebody who lacks communication skills, is an introvert, is not a people's person. I'm not too sure how that person would fare in a career like journalism. So your personality will always play a very important role. And this is not the only aspect I'm talking about when I say personality. I'm also talking about, are you a nervous person? Are you somebody who gets cold feet very easily? You get stressed very easily? If your plate is too full, it probably slows you down. If yes, are you thinking about taking PCM even along with biology? Are you thinking of physics, chemistry, maths along with economics? Are you somebody who can really manage this kind of stress? These are very crucial questions to ask yourselves right away. Moving to interest, I'm talking about pure interest now. So, for example, if I would take you a couple of years back and I'd ask you, probably, have you seen the movie Three Idiots? I'm sure most of you must have seen the movie. We've loved it, each one of us, for different reasons. And if I was to ask you, could you name the characters of the movies of this particular movie? I'm very, very sure that you would be able to tell me each and every name, even today, where this movie actually came more than a decade back. Well, this is the level of interest that I'm talking about that probably we have towards this movie. Do you have the same interest towards the subjects or the careers that you're thinking about? Well, please do reflect, because I'm quoting this movie, I think, because it's the best film that has been made when it comes to explaining personality, interest, and aptitude. If I talk about Amir Khan in the movie, you would know that there was pure interest backed by personality and aptitude when it came to what he was doing. Similarly, when we look at Farhan in the movie, who was doing engineering but wanted to get into wildlife photography, there was no interest in what he was doing. Probably Raju did not have the personality to do what he was doing. So this was a very clear reflection, and I must request each one of you to go back to the movie and reconsider and put yourself in those shoes and say, are we ready for what we are choosing? Now let's talk about aptitude, which is a very important factor here. When I talk about aptitude, we're all very differently made. We have to understand that each one of us is not great with numbers. Each one of us may not be great with languages. Somebody may be very good with music. Somebody may be very good with sports. We all come from different spaces. But have we analyzed what our strengths are? And why are we talking about it today? Because as my colleague Aks had mentioned right in the beginning of the session, today we are not taking decisions as per who we are or what we really want to do. We are taking decisions because our cousins are doing something, our friends are doing something. I would not say this peer pressure, but there's a lot of herd mentality. Everybody is doing law, let me do law. Everybody is doing AI, let me also explore artificial intelligence. Everybody wants to do XYZ, I should also do XYZ. I think this is where the dissatisfaction comes in the coming years. You have to be very careful about what is your strength, what is that area that you can excel in before you make these decisions. So please sit back and analyze. Are you a logical person, analytical person? Are you great with numbers? If yes, maybe subjects like mathematics, physics, chemistry, economics, these kind of subjects, accountancy, are what you should be focusing on. If you're language oriented, you're a linguistic child, then probably subjects like English, like different languages, even Hindi for that matter, foreign languages, subjects like biology, psychology, business studies, history, geography, political science, maybe these are subjects that you should be focusing on. Well, not to worry if you're somebody who says, I'm not very good with either, but I'm great at music. What can you do with your musical intelligence? I'm great at sports, which means I'm very high on body, on kinesthetic intelligence or body spatial, as we call it, which means that what can you do with the use of your body? Today, there are hundreds of careers that open up when we talk about sports. Are you looking at those? So I think it is time that we start considering where we are and where we belong. A lot of you say when we counsel you, ma'am, we love the nature. We want to do something for the environment. We want to save the environment. Or we love traveling as a hobby. We love pets. Do you realize that you have something called naturalistic intelligence, which is very high in you? So maybe that is what you should explore. So, students, I will go back to saying it all begins with yourself. Sit down today and take a look at who you are. Reconsider your personalities, how strong, how brave, how ready you are to take up the subjects and the streams that you're planning. What is the area where your sheer interest lies? What is that area? Aptitude, where does it lie? Like I said, numbers, words, music, sports, arts, what is it that you feel that if you pursue, you're really going to excel? Because you are a very blessed generation. Unlike the generations that have gone by, you can actually make a career out of what you love doing, because today there's a lot of scope in a lot of different streams and fields. All you need to do is find out what it is and then go by it. Study styles, as you can see on the screen, again a very important part. You must consider this when you're thinking of stream selection. Are you somebody who can take long hours of, sitting at your desks, maybe a couple of hours of tuitions after your school? Or you're somebody who says, ma'am, I just can't do rote learning. Or I'm somebody who needs a lab to learn. I need to use my hands to learn. I need to hear to learn. I need to walk to learn. So these are different study styles that each one of you have. And this also should be considered when you're thinking of your subjects, which is very important. For example, you're somebody who learns better in labs or when you use your hands, but you've taken all theoretical subjects. How are you going to manage? So please be very, very careful, is what I'm trying to say. Be very, very alert when you're choosing your streams, and at the same time, be very confident and very enthusiastic, because you're beginning your journey ahead. You're kickstarting the new phase of your life, which is where you will be stepping into brand new careers very soon. All your life you've dreamt of being this or that. This is the time you actually start this particular journey. So, students, with this, let's talk about at least having three different options in hand. One would be your dream career, second would be your definite career, and the third would be a backup option, which means that you have to at least have three options in hand, considering that these are very competitive times, and one needs to be very, very, very careful about the choices that you make. Largely we have science, medical, non-medical, we have commerce and arts, but there are multiple options that different schools are providing. So it will also, your choice will depend on what your school has to provide to you. Technically what we see, and commonly what we see, under medical you have a physics, chemistry, biology, And under your optional subjects, you would have math, engineering, drawing, economics, computer science, IP, biotechnology, etc. Under your non-medical, you would have physics, chemistry, maths, followed by biology, engineering, drawing, again, economics, computer science, information, IP in your optional subjects. Commerce, you have business studies, accountancy, and economics as your mains, and optional would be a math, IP, etc. Similarly, for arts, mostly schools offer a history, geography, political science with eco, psychology, again, math, computer science, etc. Even legal awareness, mass communication, these kind of programs, sorry, media awareness programs as your optional programs, subjects. Coming to science, which needs a lot of discussion. I think students, we all by and large know a lot about engineering and architecture. We know about the medical science, but areas which need a lot of concentration still are pure science and research areas. Well, science opens up your paths to multiple options, but why are we still focusing on just engineering, architecture, or maybe being a doctor, as you call it? Under engineering, as Aks has already said, there are more than 100 options that are provided in India alone. But we know more than the ones that the screen displays right now? When I ask students, they generally tell me about these 10, 15 options that they know about as specializations under engineering. But can we move far beyond to look at the other options that are also available and are doing really well in today's times if you're thinking of engineering? We are talking about biomedical on the screen, if you can see. Biomedical, with the kind of advancements, developments that are happening in the medical world now, in medicine right now, the biggest problem, the biggest question that everybody is having to face is what to do with the biomedical waste, how to dispose it, how to manage it. Let's talk about energy conservation, a big question. Everybody's looking at the next best option. We are looking at petrol and diesel rates skyrocketing already. Who's going to come up with the next option? We are looking at you to come up with solutions. Nanotechnology, gadgets have always intrigued you. Are you looking at nanotechnology as an option? Look at plastics. Everybody is saying it's full of cancer. We should just ban plastic. What is the next best option? Or can we do something to better the use of plastic? So I'm just throwing in some ideas which could open your minds. There are many more options beyond what we can see. You come from a family which has a business into garments. Why not get into cloth? Why not get into textile engineering? You're somebody who has a maybe a publishing or a printing house, printing press running in the family. Why not paper and pulp engineering? So there are multiple options, but you need to know about them, and the more you research, the better it gets. A very crucial slide here. As we know, there are about 16 IITs and three important colleges that fall under, the most eyed or the most wanted engineering colleges. Just like each one of you who's listening to me, every single student in India is eyeing these colleges. Everybody wants to get into the top few. But let's do a reality check. Let's find out how many seats are available in these top few colleges. And let's be very, very clear here that if I talk about, all these top colleges put together, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 at max, how many more seats do you think are available for you? Now we will go back to the initial slide where we said let's do a reality check on our personality, interest, and aptitude. Do we have an aptitude? Do we have a personality to give it a tough fight and get into these 30, 40,000 seats? If yes, then probably engineering is the best option for us. But if no, then what is my backup plan? Right? Also, I would request each one of you to do a lot of research and look at these options. Now most of you are saying we're wanting to do the JEE because we want to get into space, so we want to do something regarding space technology. Well, do you know that the Department of Space, Government of India, recruits students for ISRO directly, and there are a lot of courses that are offered by IIST itself. Similarly, those of you who dream of being a part of the IITs but are planning to take humanities, do you know that an art student, along with mathematics, I mean, who's opted for mathematics, can actually apply for something called BTech in computational linguistics? Similarly, are we looking at IIT Chennai if you're thinking of an English honors? Yes, these are a lot of courses and a lot of universities that can come your way when you're thinking of these programs. So, students, very important that you get your research right, or you at least speak to counselors like us who can guide you for multiple options that are available. I can't not speak about AI, big data, machine learning, robotics, cybersecurity, nanotechnology. Yes, we are expecting a job explosion. So, if you are interested in this, if you've already taken up IP or computer sciences, if you feel you can do multiple courses along with your academic rigor at school, then yes, these are very important or very lucrative careers, if I can put it rightly, coming your way. Architecture has been, will remain. But what you must know about architecture very surely is that now only a PCM student can apply, is eligible, unlike the previous years where even a commerce or an art student could have applied. So if you're thinking of architecture, please be very sure that it is physics, chemistry, and mathematics for you. I'm moving at a little speed because I have very little time, so please go, bear with me. Moving to medical sciences, which is a very important slide again. When we speak to students and ask them why PCB, ma'am, we want to do MBBS. Why not BAMS, which is Ayurveda? Why not BUMS, which is Unani? BHMS, which is homeopathy? VSE, vocational sciences. Are you considering dentistry, which has opened up multiple options now for students, whether we talk about cosmetic dentistry or orthodentistry, facelifting? This is so much that has come in under dentistry as well. Nursing, occupational therapy, microbiology and virology, pharmacology. With thanks to the pandemics and the endemics that keep coming back to us every now and then, thanks to Corona, which has opened our eyes into multiple newer opportunities. Are you considering careers into things like microbiology and virology? Who are the ones who are actually going to study and save the humankind, from all these virus and the things that are coming up in the coming times? Pharmacology. Each one of us was made waiting for medicine for corona. Everybody was waiting for that right vaccine which could save our lives. Well, who's going to do all that research? So, students, please don't limit yourselves just to thinking about MBBS, just to thinking about what you know. I want to be a cardiologist, I want to be a gynecologist. There's far more that is available under science. Also, keep in mind that allied medicine like Unani or Ayurveda, homeopathy, we are looking down upon it. I don't know why as a generation, but these are things that are very native to our country, that we still seek, after taking treatment under an MBBS doctor, we still look left and right for some support from Ayurveda and homeopathy. And in these times where the lifestyles are so badly affected, I think these are medicines, these are streams that are going to come back big time. So please do consider if you're thinking of medicine. At the same time, the same scenario, a couple of colleges, which come into the top medical college category, a couple of seats, again the same 30, 40, 50,000 seats. Do you feel you stand a chance in one of those? If you do, please go ahead. If not, let's do a reality check and work on plan B and C. Let's see now what that plan B and C can be. A lot of you come and say, ma'am, I love physics, but I hate chemistry. Or I love chemistry, but I can't manage physics. Ma'am, we can do physics, chemistry. What about mathematics? Well, for you, this slide becomes very important because if you plan to pursue only what you like, please take a look. There's a lot that you can still do. Under physics, I've mentioned a couple of options, chemistry and mathematics, that you can look at in case you want to specialize in any one of these streams alone. If we talk about biology, I'm just picking up biology right now because, as I told you, paucity of time. Just look at biology and what you can do if you were just focusing on PCB and biology specifically. Agriculture, biochemistry, bioinformatics, a combination of computer science with biology, can give you all these options. Chemistry and biology could give you genetics, plant biology, etc. Biotechnology, botany. There is no end to what you can do with the particular stream and a subject combination as long as you're well researched and you know which way you want to head. It does not end. Look at biomedical sciences, life sciences, pure biology. There are numerous options and opportunities available, and we know is medicine, all we know is a little bit about research or a little bit about pure sciences, but this is all that you can do. And imagine only talking about biology. If I was to pull down physics, chemistry, this would multiply. So students, only message I'm trying to give here is, there is a lot that you can do. You just need to probably be well guided and well researched, so get your hands on that. Commerce, I know students have been waiting eagerly. Well, these are students who are very sure probably that they cannot do science and they do not want to do humanities, or students who've always had a liking towards entrepreneurship, business, or coming from a background of family business. Yes, you could either go for the conventional fields of BCom honors, economics honors, statistics and mathematics honors, or the newer fields of vocational or the vocational tracks of BBA, BBM, BMS, BBE, and BBA FIA, which is finance, investment, and accounting. So you could look at a younger brother or a sister of MBA, if I may call it, by doing these vocational programs and being more hands on and technically oriented in what you do. If I move to conventional courses, yes, these remain the top colleges. Well, there are many that offer, but these are the ones which have always ranked higher when we talk about BCom programs. Um, Students, in case you want to write the vocational or take the vocational track, be very careful. Entrances are involved, though they're involved everywhere now. But yes, some special entrances and special training would be required if you're talking about the BBA, BMS kind of programs. So your preparation begins immediately with effect today. Economics, a very interesting field. Again, a lot of you ask me, ma'am, what do we do after economics? Well, I've mentioned a few of them here for you, right from being a demographer to an underwriter, a tax economist to an investment banker. That is a very swanky term used by most of you. You tell me, how can we be an investment banker? Well, economics can lead you to a lot of career avenues. It's an excellent subject to be studied with, to be pursued. A good idea would be to keep mathematics along with your economics because it increases your chances of admissions to programs like eco honors or a BBA program for that matter. And yes, again, the top colleges under economics are these. It would surprise you to see that DTU, that's a technical university, also has programs like BBA running. So coming back to the fact that you should be well researched so that you don't lose your opportunities. Under management, as we know, there's finance, marketing, human resources, and operations in the coming times when you do your MBA. So, in case you're thinking of BBA and then MBA or your management as it is called, then this is going to be your track. Otherwise, under commerce, you always have chartered accountancy, where you could work with banks, public limited companies, or even have your own practice if you decide not to work with the others. You could go in for a company secretary, which is a combination of a legal expert and somewhere as you also do what a chartered accountant may do. And moving ahead, you could even look at actuary, which is again a very promising career opportunity. Does not fall under Delhi University. It is a different body which gives out a couple of exams that you need to qualify to become an actuary. A very well paying job, very lucrative career. But yes, for those who are completely in love with numbers, with mathematics, statistics, and extremely good with what they do. Then you could also consider working with large banks, working with authorities like IRDA, TAC, PFRDA, or working with the actuary companies as a consultant. All this can be done if you're an actuary. You could even work with insurance companies. They hire you big time if you've done your actuary. Chartered financial analyst, known as the CFA, is also another thing that you could consider in case you're thinking of commerce. Again, work with the banks or look at equity investment, portfolio management, wealth management, corporate financing, the bigger angle or the bigger picture of, if I may say, of banking, etc., of finance. So this is what you can consider if you're looking at CFA. So, largely banking, taxation, accounting, finance, stockbroking. If these things interest you, then commerce is a good option for you. I know a lot of you may say, ma'am, what about with math, without math? Well, my simple suggestion is both are viable. There's a lot that you can do even if you do not have math. But if you're not choosing mathematics, then why take commerce? Why not think of humanities? Why not? Why are you sticking to numbers? Because accountancy will again take you back to numbers. Economics will have a portion which has numbers. So are you sure that commerce is something you want to do? If you're not somebody who enjoys mathematics, give it a thought. Arts and humanities, a must explore. Whether you're a science student or a commerce student, does I mean or you're planning science or commerce, does not matter. Please do consider humanities because it is something that each one of you can do and opens up a lot of opportunities again. What do we do if we have history or fine arts? A very common question. You could be a historian. You could get into heritage preservation. You could even be a heritage restorer, a fine arts dealer or handler, a book journal editor, an art critic. Well, let me tell you, if money is something that drives you, these are very well paying jobs. If you haven't heard of them, it's time to research. Political science, another very interesting subject under humanities, a must pursue. We see a lot of students getting into political science honors today. Why? If you want to get into the customs, want to go into foreign services, want to get into politics, be diplomats, work with embassies, be economic development officers, or probably talk about newer careers that you've never heard of, like psephology, being a lobbyist. Political science can get you there, students. Most of you may be thinking, what does all this mean? Well, for that, you need a one to one session for us to tell you in detail what it means. Today, I have very limited time to speak to all of you. And the idea here is only to tell you that there is a world of opportunity, a sea of opportunity that awaits you as long as you're well planned, well calculated, and well guided. So don't be shy to approach us, because we can run to the best salons, we can go to the best designers. Why not the designers of your careers? Or people who can actually guide you and get you what you're best at. Moving ahead on that thought, with political science, I purposely have got the screen up because a lot of you ask me, how do I get into raw dia? That's a very sweet question that a lot of youngsters ask me. Ma'am, we want to work with the World Bank, we want to get into UN, or we want to get into McKinsey, Bain, Price Waterhouse Coopers. Well, in that case, yes, a simple political science can also get you your dream companies or organizations. So do consider. Geography, a subject that's not much liked, but yes, has great career opportunities with those who love geography. You can be a political or a physical geographer, a community planner, an environmental planner, or even a weather forecaster. For example, the Modi government has come up with a lot of smart cities. Who do you think is planning and executing the whole show? You could even work with defense and military organizations after doing your geography, with public health organizations. Yes, those of you who dream of being with Google, you could work with Google Maps, Bing Maps, Wikimapia. You could work with Atlas companies, shipping companies, weather forecasting companies. So, a lot of opportunities ahead, even for students who pursue geography, as long as you love what you do. Yes, psychology and counseling is one field that goes hand in hand the moment we say, humanities. I've just put six opportunities here under psychology. Trust me, there are countless. There are countless. So, whether it's consumer psychology, aviation psychology, things that I've not put here, or the ones that you commonly have heard of, like industrial sports, forensics, etc., there are a lot of opportunities under psychology as well. And please beat the taboo. It is not just for girls. Psychology is for boys as well. Some of our excellent present day psychologists are actually male psychologists. So it's a beautiful field to pursue, especially if you're somebody who loves the sports but do not have a sports man spirit, or probably you're somebody who can't get on the field. Then maybe something like a sports psychology, sports journalism can get you closer to your dream. So do consider. These are some top colleges under psychology, and as you can see, most of our lists have a lot of girls' colleges appearing. So the girls always have a better opportunity, I think, with these kind of courses. That's why it's more popular among the girls. Anthropology is another thing that you can do after taking up humanities. Of course, liberal arts is a huge opportunity that opens up, whether we talk about sociology, philosophy, psychology, fine arts. There's a lot that one can do under humanities as well. You could go in for languages or foreign languages along with your basal everyday humanities subjects like history, geography, etc. Join multinational firms, join embassies, travel abroad, be corporate trainers, be language trainers if you are thinking of getting into language based careers. Well, this is endless. You could go into social work as well by doing a bachelor's of social work, which is BSW, or a master's of social work. Work with NGOs, which are huge NGOs that India has today, or even run your own. And some very promising institutes offer these programs to you. Now, we must, before I end, look at some stream neutral options as well. So, if you're still confused between science, commerce, and humanities, liberal arts, hotel management, economics, design, law, media and communication, even management for that matter, animation, there are a lot of things that one could do if not from a particular stream as well. So, students, with this, all I'd like to tell you is that the idea behind this entire thing was that there are a lot of opportunities. I will come back to the fact that I have been reiterating time and again. All we need to do is be very, very well planned, be very sure of what we want to do. And if you're not sure, please don't be scared, because this is not the age to be scared without exploration. Please write your psychometric test, please write your aptitude test. Let us help you and guide you to what is it that is made for you, or what is it that you are made for. So whether it be your interest, your personality, or aptitude, or your study styles, everything can be assessed with the help of a psychometric tool. So please don't be scared to take a psychometric test. Approach us in case you need any kind of guidance or counseling. We will be more than happy to explore these options for you, because right now you cannot make a wrong decision. You have to be very sure what is the subject that goes into your best of four, with English being mandatory. What are the subjects that can give you bonus points? What are the decisions that can get you penalties when you're applying for admissions in India or abroad? What are subjects that or what are the things that can strengthen your profile building or your profiles overall? Please, this is the time. Do not lose time. Your class 10, 11, and 12, starting rather from class 9, are very crucial years. They're I would say, probably makers of your destiny ahead. So please be very, very careful as to what decisions you take, and don't shy away from taking any help.